Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, whatever time you are watching this video. Welcome back to Great Trading Lab. Before we get started, kindly click on the subscription button, like and share this video. I want to talk about the trade I dropped on my free Telegram, and I also talked about on my last video because I've been holding the trade for like 2 weeks, and I want to talk about how I took my entry and what made me to enter the trade. So let's jump into the chart. The first trade I'm going to be talking about is on Gbpchf. Gbpchf, I dropped it to my free Telegram, as you can see it on the screen. We had several positions here before we were on a downtrend. From here we had a break and retest here. I took a sell from here. I lost this first position here, took a sell here, hit take profit, took the second sell, and then before we had the market switch to the upside. So we had we were still bearish around this point, but when we got to this zone and we had this first reaction here. When we had this first reaction here, I also waited for the market to create a higher low. So when we first approached this point and we broke out from this zone, the market created a higher low here, and I was still waiting patiently. After this blue bullish candlestick here, I went to the 4 hours. And here was, I think we were somewhere around this point. I waited for this bearish movement. At first I was thinking, or I was expecting this market to maybe have a reaction here, but I was waiting to take the trade either if we have a reaction back to this point, or maybe if we break above this point. So I had my level marked here, and also I was expecting a retracement back to the psychological level because we were still very much bearish. If you look at this chart from here, we were bearish. We had the bullish movement from here to this point, so the market switched bearish before we started going up. So I was waiting for a breakout from here, and wish I had the breakout. I had the breakout around this point, around 104979. We broke out from this structure, and now we were now automatically very bullish. We're very bullish. So I took my entry here because we were very bullish. I was waiting for the market to break out from this point so that I can buy. And so when the market broke out from that point, I took the trade from this point. up to this zone here, 1.05800. I took the sell to this point, and then we had this. I didn't expect this bearish movement. Like, I was expecting maybe to end somewhere here, so that I was going to take my position from here. Yes, I was waiting for it to get to this point, because if you look also, the market also reacted on this point here. The market reacted on this point, so I was expecting the market to stop. Excuse me, let me make it bold so that you see what I'm talking about. The market reacted on this point here. So I was expecting the market also to retrace back to this point here before we continue the buy to the upside, but pretty much we didn't have that retracement to happen. We had a deep retracement back to the zone where the market broke up from. So when we had that deep retracement, I was waiting for a bullish confirmation, like a bullish candlestick, and wish I had a bullish pin bar here. So I took my trade immediately. This little candlestick closed on the 4 hours. This candlestick here, this bullish spinning top. This is a pin bar, and this is a spinning top. So immediately we had this spinning top and also this pin bar. I wanted to enter at first after this pin bar, but sometimes you may have a bearish pin bar, and then before you know it, the market will still continue going bearish. So I was not ready to risk that, and I waited for this spinning top, and still I didn't still enter the market after that spinning top. But after we had a little retracement again back to this zone, and I saw that the market rejected from this point. The market rejected from this psychological level again, the same place he also rejected from this pin bar. So I was now like, okay, I think it's time to buy this trade, and I took my position from here, my second entry from here. Remember, we had the first TP hit, but I didn't tell my community to leave the trade because I was still expecting very much bullish movement in Gbpchf, and so we just keep holding. But me, I closed from this point and reopened somewhere here, and then we are taking it up to the upside, and I'm still expecting more bullish movement. Why? Because we had a break here, we had a break of structure here from the downside to the upside. Remember, this market was on the downtrend before. That's why I sold here and also sold in this point. So we broke out from this point, and that sell from the 4 hours, that sell from the 4 hours, so that sell from the 4 hours, we had a retracement back to this zone here. You remember that sell I showed you from the 4 hours? So we had that retracement back to this zone. So now we created another higher low at this point. Let me show you. We created another higher low from this point. Sorry, let me. Okay, we created another higher low from here. Like this point, this is a higher low, and from here this is a higher high, because this is a higher high because it's the highest point of this market, and then this is the lowest high. This is the lowest point of the market. The higher low, and then this is the higher high. So presently I'm expecting this market to go more bullish, because this market close daily with a spinning top, a bearish spinning top, and if we come to the 4 hours, we are going to see that bearish spinning top, we had a break and a retest here, and also we had a new higher low, and also we had a new higher high. So when we have a new high and we also have a new low, we will be expecting the market to go more bullish. And you remember, we have already been bullish, and we are expecting more bullish movement from this point. So I'm looking out to enter from here again from next week to complete the bullish movement to the upside. So we had this retracement down here, and then this bullish candlestick here. So next week I'll be expecting a little bit of retracement down to this point here, a little bit of retracement here, and then we are going to buy again this from here to the upside. We're going to buy from here to the upside. So this is how I took this trade. And if we go down to the 1 week self, if we go down to the 1 week, we are going to see that on the 1 week the market is very bearish, very much bearish. But we are expecting a retracement. We cannot just come and sell because the market is bearish. We just come and sell because we are having a lower high here, and we are having a lower low here. So we just come out and then we sell. No, it's not done that way. We are expecting the market to react from either this point. We are expecting the market to react from this zone or this zone. These are the two zones I'm expecting this market to react from, and I'm seeing a possibility for the market to react on this zone, because if you look on the weekly, you are going to see that the market have been reacting on that point, and it's not only this point that is the first time that the market is reacting there. We also had a reaction like severally. We had a reaction here, we had the reaction here, and also this point. So we are also expecting, and if we go down, we are also going to see more reactions on that particular zone. So it's showing us that this zone is a strong zone. So we are going to hold this buy to this upside, and then from here we are going to make a decision if the market is going to break above this point here, or we are just going to be bullish to this point, then the market will crash back down. I love checking the 1 month to once in a while. If you look at the 1 month, you're also going to see we had a quick break and a retest, like a nice break and a retest here. Like here we have a lower high, and here we have a lower low. We had this retracement, and also a lower high, a new lower high, and also a lower low. And then this is a retracement of this lower high and lower low. You know that anytime we have a break, we must also have a retracement. So this is a break of this structure, so we are having a retracement back. So it's just a decision, but if this market close here in the monthly time frame, if this market close here in the monthly time frame, we know that on the monthly time frame we have switched off from the downtrend to a uptrend. So if this market close above this point, that means the monthly time frame as a whole have been switched from a downtrend to a uptrend. So now we will now be looking for more buys. We will now be looking for more buys from this particular point. We'll be looking for more buys from this particular point. That is if we break above that structure, as I said. So from next week, we'll be expecting more buys on Gbpchf, and I'm very much like sure of the buy because of the way the daily candlestick closed and the way the daily candlestick reacted on this zone. Immediately we broke above, the daily candlestick just came back to this point, to the structure point, and then it brought out this painter. So we can maybe have a little retracement with the next candlestick that is coming out then before the buy continue, but I'll still be looking out for the buy. So the next trade I took again was Gbpnzd. Why I told my community to leave this Gbpnzd trade is because of this. We had a reaction here on the weekly. We had a good reaction here, we had a reaction here. So this particular zone here is a very strong zone, and when we have like more touches on the weekly, it's more stronger because it's a higher time frame. Reactions on the higher time frame are more stronger than reactions from the lower time frame. So we had this reaction from here, also this particular point, and we had the buy from here to this point. So I'm expecting more bullish movement, but we have to wait for the market to break this zone because it's not safe for continue holding this trade, because this particular movement, we on the weekly we are very much bearish because this is a lower high and this is the lowest point of the market, and then we are having a retracement, and this particular place we retrace to is a very strong zone, and we are not ready to fork in this zone. We are not ready to just hold the trade, and we just hold the trade blindly, and maybe just keep hoping that we are going to break above this place when we are in a very, very strong POI point of interest. We are in a very, very strong point of interest. So I had to tell my community that we should close from this particular trade. And if you look on the daily, we had the reaction on that zone. This market didn't break above this zone. It came out with a bearish spinning top on this daily zone here, as you can see. We also had a reaction here. From here we had a break and retest. Before I saw this buy, I took this, this sell from here. We also had a reaction here, and also a nice reaction here. So that is why I said, if we break above this point, if we break above this zone here, if maybe the market open and then we have the nice bullish movement and we break above this zone, I will also wait for the market to retrace back before I take another buy to the upside. And then this, I think this will be the final buy for now. This will be the final buy, except the market will be trying to open a new higher highest point in the market. Because if you notice from here on the 1 month, I love using the 1 month because I'm a swing stroke intraday trader. So from here we had a reaction from here, from this point. We also had a reaction from here and also here. So if you notice, this market came to this point. When the market retraced back to this point, it came out with this nice engulfing candlestick because it engulfed this particular point, and it's many 3 days to close in the 1 month. Just imagine if this 1 month candlestick closes like this. That means we'll be expecting more bullish movement to the upside, because I don't believe that this structure is going to stop the movement of this market. I will be expecting a buy to somewhere around this point. That is if we break that point successfully. I will be expecting the market to come up to this point. Maybe it's from this point we'll now start to have the bearish movement. But for now, we are still very, very, very much bullish on this trade, and I'm expecting more bullish movement on this trade. So for now, I'm no more on Gbpnzd trade because I'm waiting for a breakout from here and then a buy continuation from that point. So from here, how I took this trade, from here on the daily, I had a break of structure because we were bearish from here, and then we had a break of structure from this zone. We broke out from this zone, and then we had a retracement down to this point. So when we had a retracement down to this point, we had this reversal candlestick from here. I waited for this daily candlestick to close, and then I went to the 4 hours. After the daily candlestick closed, I went to the 4 hours. So in the 4 hours, we had a change of structure here, a little change of structure, because after this bearish movement, we had a bullish candlestick, and then we had a change of structure here. This point, we broke above, and then we retraced back to this point of interest. So when we were in this point of interest, I took the trade here. After this candlestick here. I took the trade here, and then we're on profit. And after some time, we had the market driving out before we had this full engulfing candlestick. So when we had this full engulfing candlestick, I was like, oh yeah, this is the trade, and we held the trade from this point, had a little bit of pullback again, and then we broke above this point. So when we broke above this point, I saw that this zone here, the market have been reacting on this point. Remember, when we reached this point, the market came back to this point again. when we also reach this point, the market drive this particular zone, drive the market down. The same thing here, drove the market down again, it pushed the market down. So when we broke above this point, when we have reactions, when we market break above that structure, when you break above the zone, we will always have a retracement back to that zone. And so when we broke above this zone, I waited for this retracement back to this point. So when we have this retracement back to this point, that was when I took my trade. I took my trade from here. After this bullish hammer, I took my trade from here, put my SL here. We had a bullish hammer and also a bullish spinning top. So immediately after this hammer, I didn't take my trade after this hammer because I was skeptical, because most time I would take my trade from here and we'll have the market would try straight and hit the second entry. So I was very, very much skeptical about the movement. I was trying to be very, very careful. So after the market closed here, I took my entry and we're on profit, and we are still driving the market up. But I told my community to close, as you can see it on the screen. I told them to close, and I'm waiting for the market to break above this point and then retrace before we continue the buy to the upside, so that will be safer and the profit we made will not just end up cleaning it out after holding it for like 2 weeks, and then maybe we just keep holding and the market come back to this point like this. It will be so crazy. So it's better we be on the safer side, though we are still expecting more bullish movement, but we still have to be on the safer side. We have to be on the safer side. So I took another trade again on BTC. I even dropped it on my X account. I was trying to buy BTC from this point. Like I was trying to buy BTC from here to this point before maybe the sell is going to happen for me, but we didn't have that movement, the counter trend movement. It was a counter trend actually, because we have BTC trending bearishly, very, very much bearish. But I was looking for a counter trend, a little bit of buy to the upside, but we didn't have the buy movement. Even when we had this engulfing candlestick, I thought maybe when we had this engulfing candlestick that engulfed this one, two candlestick, I thought maybe after this engulfing candlestick from here we're going to have the buy, but we didn't have the buy from here and I got stopped out. So what I'm expecting on BTC, but I'm not going to drop the trade because I don't understand BTC these days. I don't really understand BTC these days. So I'm expecting BTC to retrace back to this point, because we just broke this structure. So I'm expecting a retracement back to this point, then a sell continuation to the downside. But I was expecting a buy on BTC. I didn't expect BTC to start selling from now, but BTC is bearish, so we just have to follow the trend and not to trade against the trend. So I'm not really much interested in this BTC trade, but let's see how next week is going to be. So NZD, this is a personal trade that I am on presently. I am on this trade, but on a loss. Like, it's my personal trade and I didn't drop this trade on my free Telegram. I'm not supposed to talk about this trade, but I just had to talk about this trade because I may also drop this trade if we have a good position next week. If we don't have any other entry, or maybe we have a missing entry and this one is available, is back to the entry point, I may end up dropping the trade again on my free Telegram. So if you are not on my free Telegram, click on my profile on the YouTube, join my free Telegram, or you check my X account, you click on the link on my free Telegram and join the link. So on this NZD, we are very much Okay, we were bearish, but now we are very much bullish. If we check on the weekly we are very much bullish on the weekly, because we had this candlestick, we had this bullish candlestick, and then we had a retracement. This is the higher low, and then this is the highest point of the market. We didn't see the market break below this point. We just had this movement here, so I'm expecting a bullish movement soon, maybe from next week. As you can see, the market was bearish from here, or we had this bullish candlestick from here that changed the market structure from the downtrend to a uptrend, and so we had this retracement. And then after this bullish candlestick, I took my trade here on the 4 hours. Let me go to the 4 hours. Sorry. We are having kind of a network issue. Yeah, welcome back. We're having a little bit of network issue, and we are back. So as I was saying, after this bullish candlestick, I had my entry here. Let's go to the 4 hours. I waited for this market to retrace back to this zone. We have been having a lot of reactions here. We have been having a lot of reactions here, like from here, market reacted here. The market have been reacting on this zone here very much. So I waited for the market to break above the zone and then retrace back to the support. And then after the retracement, I had this doji candlestick here. I entered the trade after this doji candlestick. We had the movement and then swing back to loss, but I'm still expecting the market to come like this next week. Like, we should have a movement like this next week, and then to the upside. So this is what I'm expecting next week on this trade, but I'm still holding this market. But this is not my outlook for next week. It's not my outlook for next week. I'm still holding this trade. So now this is my outlook for next week. My outlook for next week, number one is AUD USD. AUD USD, I was expecting a retracement, but it seems this market have already started selling. It's as if this market have already started selling, but we are on a very strong weekly zone. Like, if you see here, market reacted here, and also the market reacted more than how many times? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times on that zone. So, and we are back on this zone again. So we'll be expecting like a reaction on this zone. I'm expecting a reaction from this zone, like before the sell continue, but I'm expecting a reaction from that zone, and I pray we have the reaction. So we just wait for the market to retrace back to this resistance zone on the daily, then we are going to take our trade from there. But we are still going to wait. We are still waiting for the market to react and also go to our PY. So on the monthly, the market is bullish. Same thing on the weekly. On the weekly, the market is also bullish, but we are trading a counter trend movement because we have more bullish structure than the bearish, but at this point I'm looking for a sell because we also have a sell structure on the daily, and I'm waiting for a retracement, then we sell. Gbpcad, this is what I'm expecting on Gbpcad. On Gbpcad, on the 1 month, we are bearish on the 1 month. We are very bearish on the 1 month. I'm expecting price to push down from this point that it is, because we have been having a little bit of movement here. So I'm expecting a reaction from that zone on the 1 month. On the weekly, we are also very bearish. We have a lower high, and also we have a lower low. So we are at the point of our interest, our POI. And our POI, and I'm expecting a reaction from that zone. So on the daily, this is what I'm expecting on the daily. I'm not just going to jump into this trade. I'm going to wait for this market to break, like come out from this resistance zone, and then we have a retracement. So after the retracement, I'll be looking out to take this trade. Gbpcad sell down to this point, but it's not. I'm still waiting for the position. It's not as if maybe on Monday I'll just jump into the trade, and I'm still waiting for some movement. Like for now, I'll be waiting for this market to break here and then retrace before this sell will be valid. So Euro USD, I'm also expecting a sell on Euro USD. I had the sell position since, but I was holding other positions, so there was no way I could sell this market at that particular point because I was holding like 2 other currency pairs. I was still on Gbpnzd and Gbpnzd. I was still on Gbpchf and Gbpnzd, and I was holding like double positions on Gbpnzd and also on Gbpchf. I was on a double position, if I'm not mistaken, because the pair look kind of alike. So Euro USD, we had a hanging man candlestick here. I had a hanging man candlestick. I wanted to enter off after this hanging man candlestick and then put my stop loss above this point, but for real, there was no way I could take this trade because of the trade I was already holding. So I'm expecting a retracement to this point. I was looking at like to sell from here too, but I'm skeptical about that movement, and I'm not ready to risk so much on this trade. So we are going to wait. Here, but here we had the reaction. Why I draw this particular zone here is because we had the reaction here too. We had the market reacted here, reacted here, and also this point. So I was just like thinking, and also this reaction here. So I was just thinking maybe I can take this trade here since we are just selling, but I'm not comfortable with this zone, so I'm just going to go with my normal zone that I'm waiting for. So I'll be expecting a retracement. If we don't have that retracement next week, then I'm not going to take the trade. I'll just wait for this retracement back to this point. Then after this retracement, I wait for a change of structure on the 4 hours. Then I will start selling, and this position is like a 1:7. Okay, 1:6.18. So this is my trade. This is what I'm expecting for next week. This is what I'm expecting for next week. So if you have not subscribed to my YouTube channel, kindly click on the subscription button, and also don't forget to like and share this video, and click on my free telegram so that you are not going to miss out from entries of next. We had a good trade, though we have been having a couple of SL, like, I drop like 2 trade in a week. I don't enter more than 2 trade in a week. Sometimes maybe I take 3 trade in a week, but I'm going to drop 2 trade on my free telegram, and the 3 trade is just the last one is just my personal trade, so I don't take more than 3 trade in a week. So last week, I think for 2 weeks, we have had the first loss and also the second loss, and the other trade I was like trying to enter was shy, and I couldn't enter the trade because I was like, we had couple of losses and I didn't want to just drop anyhow trade, and so that we're going to come out from the trade and come out from the losses that we were having. So, but I'm still expecting good movement from next week, and we are still holding Gbpchf buy, and we are expecting good movement. So join my free telegram so that you're not going to miss out from it. Thank you.